Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new day here on the Craft Store. Josh.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing to be back.
You've been ticking over all right?
Yeah, perfect.
This guy has been the busiest man since I've seen you. You've started your own range and you're doing something, and welcome to the Craft Store. Watching on YouTube, watching on Facebook, a full 5 hours in a row for you right now. Beyond stamping, how do you describe what you do? Because this is your passion, this is your baby, you've designed a lot.
It is, yeah. So I call them world-building stamp sets. So the whole idea of it, you can create your friends and family, your loved ones, you can create a likeness to them, but it's an illustrative likeness. So for anyone who doesn't know, I am an illustrator. I go to weddings, I do illustrations, live guest illustration. What I'm doing is I'm trying to give people the skills I've kind of worked years and years and years and years to develop. I'm giving them to you so that you can create the same style of illustration really easily.
But you've broken it down, right? So the stamps we've got on today's show via joshgriffithsstudios.com. And you can see a promo code on the screen, so you can save even more. Thank you so much for that. As you can see on the product, you're building like a head, a body, an arm, a background, a foot of a dog. So you're putting together the likeness of the person you're drawing.
So they're designed so that you can create a whole family portrait.
Okay.
So each set we have custom portraits number 1, which is a set with traditionally female elements in there. So we've got the ladies set. Number 2 is the men's set here, and then number 3 is the children's set. So you have everything there to create your sort of traditional family, and they are designed so that they're not just stood all together facing forward. You can have it so that you know, the one of the elements is stood with their arm around the other element.
Right.
You can have it so that they're carrying their children. Some of their children are on the floor, some are sat down playing. It creates a lively, illustrative scene in that sort of classic storybook style illustration, with movement and with charm, and it's sort of alive when you make it.
So it could be for an anniversary of something, it could be the grandkids that are now coming along, or just, you've always fancied putting people, because I know like the likeness that you can say, you know, maybe Auntie Sarah always has a ponytail up and loves the cardigan. You can do that, but if it's just people you want to create.
There's no specific reason to use these stamps, so it could be if you're having fun and you're just drawing, you're creating a lovely world, as I say, they're sort of world building stamps, a family portrait. It could be if it's someone's birthday, if it's a gift you're giving for someone. If you want to make and sell with these, so our angel policy is that we encourage you to make and sell as long as you don't kind of mass produce and print them, or have them printed.
Yep.
So you can start a small business with these, and people have. You know, I've come across accounts where people are making bespoke cards for people that look like the people who are going to be receiving the card using the stamp sets. And what's nicer than getting a card and knowing that someone spent that time, you know, going on your photographs and picking out little bits of your personality and adding them into the illustrations.
So there are animals coming up, there are backgrounds coming up, there are people coming up. 2 quick things to point out. 1, Mr. Andy in our ear. There is a frame in the middle of the background of the middle part of the set here. And every person in that frame, right, is made up of the custom portraits 1, 2, and 3.
Just custom portrait number 1.
Okay.
So these, and I only stopped there because I ran out of room on the thing. So every one of these people, these ladies, are all made using just that one stamp set. So you can see the difference in their clothing. The other thing is that the stamps are adaptable, really easily adaptable with very simple line work, and I'll show you how to do that. But they can also be made to be taller and shorter by spacing about the parts, you know. It's really, really easy to use. And also, you're not just getting the stamp sets when you buy Beyond Stamping, you are entering in to a whole massive community now. It's a growing community of stampers. I like to call them Beyond Stampers.
Yeah,
sort of like Taylor Swift sort of manner there, my like Beyond Stampers.
The comparison between you and Taylor, don't stop there. We'll get into that in just a bit.
So it's that amazing community, and also we have a Facebook group. It's called Beyond Stamping on Facebook. Go and add yourself to that, because it is the loveliest group of people. Do you know in Facebook groups where inevitably there's like horrible comments or arguments? There is none of that. Everyone is incredibly supportive and inspiring as well. You can see the things that people are doing with the stamp sets.
You can do the exact same, whether you're going to like frame these elements up, maybe you're going to be bespoke for your friends and family or other people, on cards, of course, to make them sell if you want to. You've got a lot of choice. Now then, if you're brand new, I mentioned there's two things I want to say. One, of course, was that frame. Josh, if we are brand new, there's a promo code on the screen. What does that mean? So
that's the Beyond Welcome 15. So that means on your first purchase, you can save 15% only on your first purchase. So that one is for, obviously, as a one-off. And then we also have the other code.
Bundle up 10?
Bundle up 10, yeah.
Just checking my notes. Bundle up 10.
Bundle up 10, yeah. Susie, my partner, who runs a business with me, she knows all this stuff. And I get sent out here going like, so bundle up 10. And that's if you buy 3 or more items, you get 10% off.
Right, yeah. So you can see we just changed details on the screen to say bundle up 10. But it's all through. And Andy, can we see Josh's website? Is that cool? JoshGriffithsStudios.com. That's where you go. If you're on your desktop or on your phone, you click on Shop, and that's where you can see all of the products. Now, we're going to get into demonstration straight away, but we will show you the animal ones. We will show you the background ones, but this is where we go and shop with you, Josh, right?
Yeah. So this is the website. There are new stamp sets coming out all the time on this. I'm currently working on a really exciting range of I'm calling them the up close and personal sets.
Okay.
So it's something that, but we share it all together in the information. Yeah, gift cards as well. So if you already have some of the sets and you might want to buy these for a friend so that they can get involved in the community. I love the website. It's nice and simple, isn't it?
I love the website. Good job, it's yours. So each of these stamp sets individually are $17.99. There are other bits in there too, like your pads that you'll be using. You can get the exact same products that Josh uses here. But if you are brand new and you never realise, oh gosh, I've seen Josh on screen many times. I didn't realize he did his own stuff. You use that first code, Beyond Welcome 15 for 15% off. And also, I love the fact that if you may be shopping with Josh from shopping at Hobby Maker or already direct with you or in your Facebook group already, and you want to get hold of the latest ones, you didn't realise there are pet ones, anybody can use Bundle Up 10.
Yeah. Anyone can use Bundle at any time as well. As long as you've ordered over 3 items, you get the benefit of the 10% off your whole order as well.
Rightio. Listen, right, we're going to wander over this way to the demonstration area and start. He's gone. Go on, Josh. I'll follow you along. But thank you so much. I will keep an eye on your comments. Any questions at all about, do I need an experience before? Do I need perspective? Do I need a stamping? Anything you want to ask Josh about using his stamps or stamping in general, put them on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll have a look in just a second. Can I ask you about the pad? Because you stock these as well.
Yes. So the pad, I spent a long time researching manufacturers of actual, genuine watercolour cardstock, because some watercolour pads, they claim to be watercolour, but they're actually just hammered cardstock.
Okay.
So this is genuine watercolor cardstock. It's 300 GSM, which I think is the perfect weight when you are either using it as a card base because it folds perfectly, but also to do a watercolor illustration. I use watercolor. You can paint these in any medium you want, but I needed it to be watercolor cardstock, and it's got a very fine texture as well, which I find works really well for the stamping. So the stamps always go to it absolutely perfectly. There's no missing bits in them. So I spent ages researching, and then there was a lot of back and forth, and then I even kind of really dug my heels in to get the 12 sheets rather than the standard 10 sheets per pad.
Well, you say you're the boss. Your company, you can do what you want. That's $10.99. You'll find it all on JoshGriffithsStudios.com. That's where you can go. Let's make a start.
Okay, yeah. So let me show you. I'm going to start with the people building stamp sets. So that's custom portraits number 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
People ask me a lot which ones are going to be the best to start with. Now, the nature of these stamp sets is that everything works with everything. So, you're going to be covered no matter where you start. But let me show you how these work, because these tend to be the ones that people go for, because these were the first sets that I ever designed, and this is what got the brand as well known as it is now. So I always start with the feet, and that is because it's a distance thing. So you can choose different shoes. Each set's got different shoes, different styles of shoes. In the ladies set, you've got high heels and you've got flip flops and things like that. Just so that if someone's I know people who are known for wearing flip-flops year out.
Yeah, we've all got an uncle who wears shorts all year round.
Yeah, shorts and flip-flops. Well,
absolutely. There we go. Andy here, my mate Connor. Absolutely, he's the guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll be able to create that. So look at how quickly the illustration's coming together now, and each of these sets. So the men are designed to face the women. Okay, because when I started, I only had so much room and I didn't want to be kind of exclusive, and I needed there to be the opportunity to make same-sex couples, or if, you know, friends wanted to be on a card together, then they could be facing each other in that natural way. So custom portrait numbers 4, 5 and 6, they are flipped. So they're the same as these sets, but they're with different heads to give you that extra value.
Yep.
But they're flipped so that now any people with the same body type, they're not facing both the same way.
Yeah, I'm with you.
They're facing each other so they can have their arms around each other.
And as you say, it's not just straight. The more you see, they're not just straight on by their side. Like there's movement, there's a posture, there's a gesture.
Exactly.
It's relaxed.
Now look at this. So this is where it kind of comes into its own now. So I can have, so say this is a couple here. I'm going to have them standing quite close. I'm not going to start with the feet just on this one because I want the feet to be going in there. So as I say, they're adaptable. The sets are adaptable with really simple line work, and I'll show you the kind of magic of that in a sec.
Just say good morning to Hillary, Amanda, Tracy, Jan, Julie, Bernie, another Tracy, Linda Chapman, Trisha's also tuned in. That's just a handful of people watching on Facebook and on YouTube. It's a big day today, Josh. There's lots of people in the studio right now, Josh.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, there are. Very busy.
Wheeler's up next, by the way, with new Ciao Bella, which is very exciting. Mentioned Linda Chapman. Linda Chapman and the Crafty Witches are here the hour after that, 1 o'clock. Don't worry, Chappers is safe and sound. She's okay. We've got Ian and we've got Sheila as well, thank goodness. So the boss is currently dormant right now around the coven. Loads going on today. Dalton Manor at 3. Polka Doodles with Nikki Hall at 2. There's a lot going on today, but each hour you shop direct. So this show right now with Josh, joshgriffithstudios.com. That's where you shop to get hold of these stamps and this pad.
So look how quickly this is coming together. Now, what I mentioned before about, so I want his feet going over this lady's feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp the back end here. So I'll just colour it with the back end like this. And then I can add my line work.
I've noticed you haven't joined up the legs to the torso.
No, so this is where it comes together. Do you know, I should have stamped with the other one because I'll show you that in a sec actually. Now, they're adaptable in this way. So if I want this man, now I can finish the drawing off just with some really simple line work. So I can attach that there, attach this here. And this means that's the beauty of it, in that you can make people taller and shorter really easily by doing this. And all you have to do is add that simple line work. Now, if I wanted this man to be wearing a t-shirt, I could draw a line here. If he's wearing a long sleeve, if he's wearing a vest, I just draw, you know, a little line here like this.
Yeah.
Let's have him wearing a t-shirt. So it's just simple, a line there, and that's it. Now, if I want to have him with his arm around her, it's just a case of doing this, and then maybe just add some fingers in there. So now it looks really natural still again. So what I've done is as I say, I've taken those kind of illustrative skills that I've gained over the years, and I'm trying to make them accessible to everyone.
You know what, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Josh, because the hardest, I don't know about you, but like, how long have you been watching crafting or crafting in general? The hardest thing are people, right?
Yeah.
The hardest thing are people. So the fact that you've given us the opportunity to not just create people, but people you know and the clothing they like to wear, or because the Christmas party that these people are at one occasion is going to be completely different to the summer holiday pictures after. So you can really bespoke.
So what I'm going to do, just to show you, before I paint these and show you when they come to life, I'm just going to really quickly build the lady again, but with a different element, because I want to show you how adaptable the lady's set is. So this is custom portrait number 1. Again, really quickly coming together. I'm a bit messy, by the way. I always even in my sort of Sizzix days, I was very messy even when I was working on the TV. I can't keep a clean page, but it doesn't matter to me.
We all comment like that after your shows, John.
Yeah.
We all said.
and the other thing was as well, I never got used to where the cameras are, so I'm trying to keep. What normally happened was just my head would come in like this.
Here I am.
And I could just never help it, never got used to it. Anyway, so let's have a look at how adaptable this is. Now, if I wanted her to be wearing a jumper, as I say, I just draw a line here. That means means she's now wearing a jumper and a neckline. A t-shirt, I draw a line there. Let's do something a bit more kind of technical. Let's have her wearing dungarees.
Okay.
So there we go. Now she's wearing dungarees. See what I mean? But she could be wearing shorts dungarees. So I just do some lines in here. Now she's wearing dungarees. You need pockets on them, don't you, if they're dungarees like that. So now she's wearing dungarees with shorts. So just very, very simple line work can completely change what these people look like. But look what happens when I paint them. So I paint them in the same way that I would at a wedding. And I always let people know that you're not just getting the stamp sets. When I say you're entering into a community, I do a live make-along once a week.
Yep. When's that?
On a Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
So
is that in the Beyond Stampers Facebook group?
No, so that's in the Josh Griffiths Studio. So Josh Griffiths Studio is my company name.
Yes.
Beyond Stamping is the stamping brand.
Okay.
So if you go on social media at Josh Griffiths Studio, so whether it's on Facebook, so it's a Facebook Live, so every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. At the moment, it's a little bit more sporadic because it is wedding season, and I am a very busy boy during wedding season. So let's add a little bit of shadow here.
Whilst we're watching, by the way, I've got a lovely message from Amanda. Amanda's put on Facebook, "Hi Josh and Dan, love these stamps and this company. I can't recommend them enough. Great to see them on the craft store." Amanda, thank you so much. Susie says, "Watching with a sleepy..." It's your Susie?
Yeah, it's my Susie.
With a CP, is it Lowry?
Lowry.
Lowry, there we go. It's your Susie. Hey, Susie. Again, Chaps is watching. Amanda, Linda, don't worry, they're setting up right now. I know. But lots of people tuning in now as well, even more people watching on YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this for the first time, please go follow Josh Griffiths Studios, because that's where you can see the lives, you can get access to the groups and everything like that.
Exactly. It's all the information.
Tips like how to make it into you've just made that into a hoodie with the toggles, and how to make it into a t-shirt. I guess those tips are explained in much more detail. Yeah. We're pushed for time here.
And I will ask people as well, what do you want to see? And then we try and make it happen every week. And just mentioned Susie as well. Susie is as big a part of the business as I am. She does absolutely everything, including most of the time looking after our two whirlwind children. So she is a superwoman. She's doing it and looking after the kids as well, because I'm normally upstairs kind of like doodling, just to say
busy, love. Busy.
I'm working, but I'm like drawing a squirrel, whereas she's downstairs and she's manning the fort. So hats off to Susie.
And you know what, I know a lot of you, actually me and Josh talked about this before, now than ever is the time to support brand new artists, brand new crafters, crafting company, giving you something that I've never seen this kind of concept before, that you can bespoke portraits, which is the hardest thing. That is what Josh is doing. You've seen him on Create and Craft or a Chanda for many, many years with Sizzix, etc. Now branching out on his own, doing what he absolutely adores to do, and making it then applicable, accessible for you guys. I think that is what the crafting industry, because everybody at some point started out brand new. Even the biggest companies, you hear stories about them all the time. So supporting Josh, that's exactly what you do. We're proud of that on the craft store, by the way, shopping directly with Josh and Susie and the kids, so Josh can draw more squirrels forever. JoshGriffithsStudios.com is where you shop.
So there we are. So, I mean, there's a painted illustration. Obviously, I've done this really quickly.
Yep.
But, I mean, if you have a look at the pack shot over there are loads of finished examples. I'm not sure about ones here, but I'm just going to talk quickly about some of the other sets now.
Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go through this now, then I will wander back and remind you of bits and bobs. But if you just talk through what you've got in your hands, please.
Yeah, so all it was, so these are the people sets.
Yep.
And I have background sets as well. So these are customizable background sets. You can, anywhere you've been, so if it's been a holiday somewhere, you can create that background. If it's a park or trees or somewhere you love. Now have a look at these. These are all created using the stamp sets and some of my animal sets. So when I talk about making and selling, this was actually a live that I did when we looked at...
Oh, it's reflection, amazing.
Where we looked at reflection on the live. So this is my beach set with that the sea horizon in there that you can build around the people. I like including this one because it's the one thing that I've coloured with pencil crayon rather than watercolour. Yeah. It turned out really well. And this was another live that I did where I showed how to create different textures on fur. Even if you haven't bought the sets, come and have a look at the weekly live, because we just go over general watercolour tips and tricks.
Which is exactly what you can do there. Right, I'm going to wander back just to recap what you're getting for your money. I'll let you reset, Josh, is that right?
Okay, yeah.
Radio team, come with me. How exciting is this? Now, not forgetting, on the screen, you've got your code, right? So you can just spy down there, Beyond Welcome 15. So thinking, oh, I recognise Josh. Yeah, I've seen him pop up on Hobbymaker here and there. What's he up to? If you have not shopped before with Josh directly, let's get a further 15% off. Making sure you're popping that paper pad in there as well. That is $10.99. Every single one of these stamp sets in front of us are $17.99. If you're not sure where to start, it's these three here. It's these three here. Well, it was that one there that was used to create what we just did. That was the frame behind us. But then all the different body types, if you like this one with shorts on already, to be fair. A hoodie or the jumpers, etc., etc. Different feet. These are 3 separate items. But of course, you could then do your bundle side of things. Maybe you have been before and you ordered the pets when you saw those first time round. Bundle up 10. It's 3 items or more, isn't it? You're going to get a further 10% off all of those together, but put it in the same transaction. So that's just a quick hint of there. In front of there, if I can, Andy, I'm just going to give you an idea of some of the background. These are the pet ones, or the different furry friend side of things. So as you spied, you can see some birds, sea creatures. You see the little that's called a hedgehog. Forgot that what it's called for a second. You can see, and the bear, actually. These ones that you saw Josh did with the lives, a fox, etc. These are $17.99 each. If you're shopping for the first time, welcome Beyond Welcome 15 will get you 15% off. And then in the middle, and I know I'm going quickly, after this show, later on tonight, tomorrow morning, whilst you're watching Celebrity Big Brother later, get on joshgriffithstudios.com and have a proper shop around there. These 3 together are those scene builders. So you've got the seaside scenery. You've then got the little lodgings, which is really, really cute, in the custom woodland. If you're going for the animals, or maybe it is reminiscing about holidays, or maybe you do want to do something like little postcards, or you want to do your scrapbook journals, or you want to do an album, or next to a photograph, or be inspired by a photograph. It's exactly what you can do. All of those men, ladies, children, etc. that you are creating with Josh's portrait stamps, they can then be at home here. Or if you're thinking, you know what, on this occasion, on this one creation I'm doing, there aren't going to be people in it, I'm doing sceneries and setting scenes, then you can still use your backgrounds for that. Maybe there are other stencils. Listen, maybe Josh is going to bring out his own stencils. By shopping directly with Josh, you're going to get the best possible price. And speaking of price, by the way, do you remember Create and Craft? I remember Create and Craft too. I worked there for ages. These stamps individually there would have been $19.99. They are $17.99. You know, sometimes you used to do like a double discount, a further 20% off. You've already got that discount, but then you've got Beyond Welcome 15. So if your first time, you're going to get another 15% off that double discount. Now, I know it's not technically double discounts. Create and Craft's not a thing anymore. But that's kind of, I was there for a long time, so old habits die hard sometimes, right? So you can get them all, though, joshgriffithstudios.com. 100% go there. And whilst you're on Facebook, and you are, because you're watching us right now, I like to think, you can go on, follow Josh Griffith Studios on Facebook, and you'll see the lives Wednesday, 6 o'clock, to keep up with everything and all the hints and tips. Right, I'm going to wander back this way, but making sure you're using that code and that you know they are there. You've also got the bundle up 10 if you're an existing customer. Let's get a further 10% off. Right, Josh, let's continue on. Let's
continue. And also, go, and I can't say enough, the Beyond Stamping Facebook group. So if you just search Beyond Stamping on Facebook, the inspiration that you find on there is amazing. People are doing things with the stamps that I hadn't even thought about when I was designing them. It's incredible, and that's what I like about the stamps. You know, it's your creativity that is bringing the stamps to life. It's not just the designs. But what we've tried to do is, rather than giving you kind of one and done stamps where it's like, here you go, here's a stamp set of, say, a person kind of thing. Here's a stamp set of some trees. Rather than doing that, we're giving you the ingredients to create anything you want because of the modular nature of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the background sets here. I've just stamped using some of the elements from my animal sets. So they will be storybook animals, number 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to create a background for them and just show you how easy it is to create. And they look like something, once they're done, they look like something genuinely from a children's storybook. I used to be a primary school teacher, And I used to absolutely love reading the children the stories, especially because of the illustrations with people like Quentin Blake, people like Helen Oxenbury, who did the Going on a Bear Hunt books. So those illustrations, I always found them really magical, and that's where these have come from, really. So I'm just stamping a few elements in the background. I always think about the distance. So if anything, their feet, or in the mole's case there, the bottom of the soil, anything that's below that is going to be in front of them. Anything that's behind is going to be, above is going to be behind them.
I'm with you.
So that's how it works. And this is the sort of thing that we cover in our weekly lives.
Well, Susie has put links to the group on the Facebook feed for this show right now. So if you're watching on Facebook, or maybe watching on YouTube, have a glance at Facebook, and the link's already there. Susie, also, I know you're watching, Susie. I have requested to be in the Beyond Stamping group. So does Susie need to accept me?
Oh, yeah. So either Susie or Tracy, who's one of my makers. That's Tracy Humphreys Craft. On social media, she's fantastic. But either Susie or Tracy will be there to let you in the group.
Well, if you can let me in, then we can show it on air right now. Andy, on my behalf, has accepted. Then we can show it. If you don't get a chance, then you guys can do it later.
Oh, don't worry, Susie will be on it. She.
A child under each arm.
Yeah, that's the
one
thing.
in each pocket. She's like, you want me to do what?
Susie.
I'm already packing up. Oh, forget it.
She doesn't miss anything, and I love her for it, but at the same time, because I miss so much, it can be irritating.
Like,
it's just like, well,
that's why the team works, Josh.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. She's brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to put one more just tree stump in there. Now, the rest of this, I could fill this whole thing in using these elements. But for the sake of time and to show you how I use them and what we do on the lives, I'm going to just fill in some elements and just look how quickly this comes to life now. So if I'm doing trees, I just do some wiggly lines like this. There we go. I kind of, something that I've worked out how to do over time is just, I almost, when I'm doing these, I like sort of spasm my arm a bit.
Oh yeah, so it do its thing.
Yeah, and then let it do that, and it creates kind of natural looking trees there. I'm going to add some in here. And then I'm going to show how I would paint this now, but it will be quick. And I mean, I totally get that it's a show about the stamps, but what I'm trying to get across to people is that it's not just the stamp sets. You are becoming an illustrator when you buy the stamp sets, because I'm not just going to leave you in the lurch. Like, here's some stamp sets and you don't know how to use them. Yeah. I'm going to continuously try and give inspiration, tips and tricks, and until eventually you might feel comfortable doing a whole illustration yourself.
I think it is so wonderful. At the start, like, portraits people are the hardest thing you've ever tried to draw a person before. The fact that you've made it so, and you can tell it's illustrative, so it's not photographic.
No,
wise.
that's the charm.
Such a cracking likeness to the length of their hair or the colour, but also like the guise of how they stand or the height of that person. Like
exactly, and what you find is that people tend to, because the faces are quite simple, but they're simple enough whilst still looking professional.
Yeah.
That people will see themselves in the stamp. So if as long as there's a recognisable feature, say if one of your friends always wears a purple hoodie, and you just colour the hoodie element purple, then that person is going to know that it's them as well.
Yeah,
but then when you include the fact that they're a certain height compared to another person, or they have a certain hairstyle or a certain hair colour.
What a gift! Maybe a grandchild has popped along, and then you're going to do the parents, and
exactly.
It's a beautiful family portrait on the wall. Then you look closer and like, hang on, that's me.
Yeah,
that's me in the other
that's
half.
it.
By the way, Susie's granted us access.
Oh, lovely.
We're in. We're through the saloon doors. They're flapping away behind us. Andy, can we show it? You want it? Let's do it. Here we go then. So on Facebook, for example, here we go. Beyond Stamping, Josh, right? That's where we want everybody to go to get loads of the inspiration. You can see there's other bits and bobs as well. Like, I'm sure there'll be events coming up and all sorts. But inspiration, but that's where the tutorials are too.
So the tutorials are on my Facebook.
Studios.
Josh Griffiths Studios, but they'll always be advertised on there, and I'll show you where they're going to be and any upcoming information. But the main appeal of these groups to me is how brilliant the stampers are in the group, and I often use the cards that they will make. So I have two makers. I've got Stacey Humphreys, who is absolutely fantastic. She knows every genre of craft and she can make it really, you know, they look so professional, Tracy's cards. Go and have a look, go and follow Tracy Humphreys Craft. And my other maker is called Rachel Field, but both, I mean, Tracy, it's very weird, this is a coincidence.
Right.
Lived next door to my parents, well, to me growing up.
No.
Well, yeah, since I was a child, but I didn't know she was big into crafting, and it was just a coincidence. When I was on Sizzix, she was following what we were doing, and you know, and then when I started Beyond Stamping, I got in touch with Tracy because her card makes are so fantastic, and I asked for some to show on air. But I also show, but Rachel was just I say just, Rachel, I'm like demeaning her now, but I mean, Rachel was a customer on the Beyond Stamping group, just really liked the stamps and then made some really cool makes.
Did she know that she lived next door?
Tracy, so Tracy, Tracy was into Sizzix and crafting before I worked in crafting. Right. But I didn't know she was into it. And then, so when I went back and, you know, went back home, spoke to Tracy, I found out that she knows everything as well. She really follows it down to a T. She's so professional. She gives me a lot of advice.
Well, as you saw that in the group, there's lots of comments on the photographs, weren't they, going through? By the way, Carol's just written on Facebook now, spotted these stamps. I think they are amazing, going to help me with my illustration journey. Thank you for sharing. That was from Carol. Carol, thank you so much. Lots of people watching on Facebook and YouTube. Anne also adds, these stamps are so good. They are very versatile. I have made lots of cards and the recipients have loved them. Josh's lives are really helpful. Such a good group. There we go. That is from Anne on Facebook. Stay tuned, everybody, today.
Anne.
Yeah, absolutely. 5 live hours in a row. You got PI and all things Ciao Bella, brand new Ciao Bella coming up next with Miss Wheeler. You right, Wheels? Yes. Okay, good stuff. Sheila, you okay?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent, good stuff. Yeah. Sheila's coming up at 1 o'clock as well. Helping getting ready there with Crafty Witches. Poker Doodles at 2 with Nikki Hall. 3 o'clock, Dalton Manor. So all in one place. It's a busy day today, Josh. Thank you for kicking us off.
Oh no, you're welcome. It's really lovely to be back as well. So there we are. This is basically finished now. All I would do to finish this is just add a little bit of maybe a blue sky to the background, and you know, but.
So you say if you're into watercolouring, brilliant, but maybe you just got some brand new Spectrum Noirs, or you got some brand new or like whatever you want to do. Exactly,
yeah. A lot of people colour them with marker pens, and with really fantastic results as well. But there you go. So that there is a whole illustration that in the past, you know, that could have taken me hours in the past, trying to get everything right, trying to make sure that proportionately everything was right, and you know, how do I colour in a background like this to make it lively and stuff. Well, all that information is in the groups. We give you that information for free. We love doing the lives, love talking to the customers. But the stamp sets are the thing that have allowed, they're just the tool that have allowed you to create this.
Here's the thing, they are the stamps to do that. So you've got the background stamps are in here, of course, the animal stamps as well. I'm going to grab one stamp and talk about the back. You say that back frame here was made from one set. One set, which is number 1, right?
Yeah.
So, well, if you're just joining us, by the way, let me just bring this up here. Sorry, Andy, I know I'm all over the place in my ear. If you're brand new and you're watching this thinking, I love to do that because, goodness me, it hits a note that I've never been able to do before. Beyond Stamping, every one of these originally hand-drawn by you.
Yes, yeah, hand-drawn.
And then all of these elements then create all of it, and then some. It could be loads of chaps, loads of ladies, whatever it is.
I could have done 10 of these big frame things, but it was just, you know, by spacing them slightly apart, you'll notice that like this lady is much taller than, say, I'm trying to find what, like this lady here, but they're using the exact same elements, but just or maybe well, this one's the dress legs, but you just space them out, and it becomes natural. It becomes second nature when you're using them. Go, oh, I'll make this person this tall, make this person this tall. I'll make this person holding their child. I'll have, and obviously the pet sets there. So what positivity number 1 and 2. No family, if you have a pet, no family portrait is complete without that pet in there. So again, we were just trying to give you the tools to be able to create a whole family portrait, either as a gift or, you know, as a card make or something like that. Because what I did for a living before this was I used to hand draw framed family portraits.
Right.
And people would pay, like a substantial amount of money for a family portrait. Well, now you can make the exact same style of portrait with all the family members, with the pets in there, with a background in there as well. And if you mess up halfway through, you can stamp it again.
There we go. And you can see there, you've got a chappie there who's in, like feeding the birds or whatever it is in the wilderness. Maybe it's an explorer going on a hike.
So these are made by customers. That card there is made by Rachel Field. And obviously next to there is a Michael Jackson looking character on there. And that's just because I wanted to show that you can create anyone with them. There's certain small adaptations you can make to make it look or resemble any one of your loved ones. And even if that person's got a particularly kind of trendy haircut that is not in the stamp sets, there are stamped elements there that don't have the hair included, so that you can draw that in.
Now, this is what's so exciting. We're going to carry on demonstrating, if that's all right, Josh, but I will say there are 2 promo codes I want you to know about. One of them's on the screen right now, Beyond Welcome 15. So if you're brand new, first time going to joshgriffithstudios.com, use the welcome code. Beyond Welcome. I want to say it the wrong way around.
It's hard, isn't
Beyond
it? Beyond
Welcome.
We'll have a look into that.
No, it's me. That's where you're going to get 15% off. If you have a shop before, there's also bundle up 10. So put 3 or more. Now, is that got to be 3 stamps or could it be 3 paper pads?
3 paper, yeah. 3 of any item.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you get the 10% off.
There we go. Now, sometimes like the animals, for example, they come in pairs, don't they? But you want that third for that 10% off. You're never going to regret getting another of the pads, by the way. The pads are $10.99. Each of the stamps are $17.99. And then that pad, as you're using it right now, for example, next hour, Miss Wheeler doing all things ephemera with stencils and things, could be using the pad for that. It doesn't have to purely be your stamps. It's a high-quality watercolour pad.
When I do watercolour paintings, I don't know if you can find it on either my social media. One of the last posts was a really kind of a realistic picture of my road that I drew. It's like a cityscape portrait thing on the paper, and I gave that away for free in one of my lives because that's, I like to just do it. Not because I thought, someone's going to really look. I just thought, by the way, I did this today for fun. Does anybody want it? And then we did a little prize draw out of the hat thing. But yeah, if you want to show that picture to see how good the watercolour paper is, because it's the brightness of the cardstock.
Is that?
It's that one there, yeah. So that's just a road by my parents' house. I just did a little kind of realistic sort of sketch of it with watercolour. And the watercolour paper, the brightness of it makes it so that the white elements, like in a sunny scene like this, where you can see the shine on the car, the brightness of the watercolour paper, which is hard to find in watercolour paper, it's normally quite yellow or dull, allows it to shine.
How cool is that? For $10.99, 300 GSM, 12 sheets in there. These are all options for you. Now, if you're just joining us, remind us, if you like, how we build a portrait, because that's what the show's almost titled.
So this is set 3. This is the children's set. And again, they're like proportionately, when you have them next to the grown-ups, you can tell that either you can have a toddler, you can have a baby, you can have a smaller toddler.
Yeah.
I've tried to be sort of clever with the space and give you as much value for money. When I'm designing the sets, I'm always thinking of the best value because that's what I would want if I was buying a stamp set and I saw, one that not just gave you 1 or 2 images. I mean, those sets are great if you see the image, it really appeals to you. But with these, the idea is that you can create. It's limitless. There's a limitless amount of elements in the stamp set when you put them all together. I
love these little ones as you see them growing up, or maybe it's going to be an adult with a child, for example, as you maybe saw on social media. Dawn Wheeler is now Granny Dawn, aren't you, Dawn? Nana. Grandma Dawn. Nana. So if you want a congratulations card or something to a little moment in time, a little snapshot, a piece of history, you can do as bespoke as you want to be. And there's a real innocence to your stamps as well, by the way. It's really lovely, isn't it?
It's that kind of classical style of illustration that I've gone for. But the idea is that they're simple enough. As I said earlier, they're simple enough that people can see themselves in them. And that's it. It's the same as with my family portraits at weddings. I try and make the style of them simple, so that when people get them, the first thing they say though is like, "Oh, it's crazy how you can tell that it is me, even though it's just a few kind of, it's very simple line work. But the trick is just adding enough small elements that person can see themselves in it, really. And then I'll show you how I will. I'm just going to wing it with this dress here. Imagine she's got a blue stripy dress on. And then on my lives as well, I've shown how my method of watercolour painting. I like to be messy. I don't like to, be really detailed. People often ask me, what size of brush do I use? But it's just whichever brush. I mean, you'll notice this is excessively long for this brush. Yeah, this is like for oil painters. I do that with oil painting, but it's just whichever brush comes to a point well at the end. That's it.
It's exceptionally fast. What do you think at home? Isn't it exceptionally quick how you're popping it together? Listen, you can start on some scrap paper and do little combinations together, what you think looks best before you're doing your final one if you want to. Yeah. Or I feel like you just crack on. But
that's the beauty of it. If you mess up, if I was doing an illustration and I got right to the end and then I messed that illustration up, a bit, I don't know, I drew something wrong and I wasn't happy, but there was pen on there. There was a time when I'd be like, oh, I'm not starting that illustration again. Like, I'll leave it. But with the stamps, it's just there for you to have another go, start again.
Yeah. And I love how there can be multiple people. Maybe you've got loads of brothers and sisters, or all the grandchildren are just, it's now going into double figures. Or maybe it's just purely you at home and you're not thinking about other people, but just thinking like, I just want a character. I want a character to pop on my beach scene that I like to do. Really illustrated, as you say, proper storybook styling, isn't it? You can do it. Or maybe people aren't your thing. You've got the animals as well. So it's such a short space. When did it start? Beyond Stamping? A year ago?
It's coming up to its year anniversary. Yeah, but it is. I mean, it's come a long way since then. Like, thankfully, because of the customers, it's grown into its own thing. It's like its own beast now.
Yeah. It's really wonderful that you're watching, of course, direct. And I want you to shop direct with joshgriffithstudios.com. When Josh is on Hobbymaker, for example, absolutely watch the shows. There'll be new things coming out all the time, I've no doubt.
Yeah.
I bet there's all sorts in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, we've got. I mean, and we go over them with every live that we do. I talk about things that are going to be upcoming. But you are also future-proofed in that every set that we do, thematically at least, is going to be either the same style of illustration, so you're never going to just have a random set that doesn't work with all of your other Beyond Stamping sets. There are some sets that are coming out where it's the up-close and personal sets that are coming out. These ones are going to be closer up, so bigger, because I noticed that there are certain card makers who want to fill a bit more of the space with one stamp, so they're going to be a bit more detailed. The customization in that is going to be in their expression. I've got a reel there somewhere on my social media that really shows, it's the same face with different expressions.
Okay.
And again, it's almost like, do you know how people are all doing that trend with the doll AI thing?
Oh yeah,
now?
I know trends. Harlem Shake? No? Okay, planking? No. What's the one that you did? Ice Bucket Challenge Dawn. She still does it.
Just every morning just does the
Ice Bucket. Like, hey, sponsor me. Like, no, God. Sorry, the dolls,
Yeah, so I mean, it's that thing. People can sort of, the doll thing, people want to see what they'll look like in a certain, either an illustrative form or how AI will create them. But you can do that with these stamps. You could create the same thing with the stamps. It almost works in the same way. The appeal is seeing yourself in some sort of medium.
That's really cool, like that whole Barbie packaging thing. Like when people would see the Barbie movie, you could stand in the real box, couldn't you, and sort of do that. You could do that kind of thing. But that is so
I would just
beautifully simple, isn't it?
I'd do a little signature, and then whoever this was for, say it was for someone, say called, I don't know, Amelia or something, I would just, obviously I'd spend a lot more time doing some nice writing, but I'd just do that, and it could go in a frame, and that could go on their bedroom wall. That took me 3 minutes or so, and it's something that I could have maybe at a sort of boutique stall somewhere at a craft show. I think, I know because people have made sort of small businesses using the stamps.
Here we go. Right, I'm going to recap. I'm going to wander over there and recap for you, and then by the time I come back, Josh, we'll probably have like 10 minutes left.
Okay, yeah.
Flying by, isn't it? Right, friends, come with me because this is what's so exciting. All of the stamps that are in the range. Here's the thing, right? Because you're going direct to joshgriffithstudios.com, every single unit of stock that is available, maybe it's on the very first one, like number 1. Maybe it's the latest one, like the Can't Stand Still collection, which are on the bottom row. You've got access to them all. There are 2 promo codes I want you to know about, and there's 3 things in total. One is Shop Direct. You are going to Josh's own website. You're giving him 100% of every single penny you want to part with. joshgriffithstudios.com. Beyond Welcome 15. Use that promo code if you've never shopped before. Beyond Welcome 15, a further 15% off everything in that bundle. If you have shopped before, you want to use the code BUNDLEUP10. 3 or more items in there. Now, that could be 3 paper pads. I'd like to think maybe you've gone down the animal route before and you're going to go for the 3 backgrounds. 3 or more items in there. One of them could be the pads as well, of course. Bundle up 10 will give you a further 10% off that offer for you. So you're going to save more by shopping direct with Josh and Susie and the team. joshgriffithstudios.com, of course, on the Facebook pages. Go into the Beyond Stamping collection. That's that gallery with lots of inspiration, lots of ideas. But Josh Griffith Studios on Facebook is where you'll find his lives every Wednesday, nearly every Wednesday, unless he's at a wedding. Very, very popular. At 6 p.m. there. But as you see, just spying around here, between the finished samples or framed up elements, or wherever you want to, maybe they're going to go into a book or a journal or an album, whatever you want to do, these stamps will create the people that you exactly want to create. And by the way, you've seen on a couple of cards here and there are sentiments. There are also sentiment stamps in the range too, which can absolutely bring like the universal collection together of the same font, the same text, the same sort of size, bringing it all together. So maybe you're going to write and do actual like write your own storybooks if you like, or maybe it's like a fantasy story that you're making up with the grandkids because they're getting into their phonics and they're reading. You can do it all together there. Maybe you've got a huge family unit that you're creating for. Maybe you're going to make and sell and make a business out of it, or maybe none of the above. You just want to extend that what you do and learning to illustrate with Josh. It's his profession, it's his expertise, giving you the power and the knowledge to do exactly that. And just in your own time, away you go. Sitting down, standing up, running, moving. The close-up ones are coming next, don't worry. The younger members of the family, the backgrounds. You see the squirrels just in the corner. They're the squirrels, by the way. They're the squirrels in that sample where it all started with Josh upstairs. How funny. Nevertheless, this is the sort of thing that you can be doing and learning, but you are never alone with all the expertise and the support from Josh and the team. Right, I'm going to wander back, but not forgetting, looking at the clock here. Right, 9 minutes left, and then we're talking all things Ciao Bella, the brand new ephemera books with Dawn Wheeler after the break. Rightio.
So I thought...
Oh, he's on the move.
So this is from one of the Can't Stand Still sets. There's 2 Can't Stand Still sets, and that's because I haven't done a children's one because there's already a running and walking element in set number, whichever the children's one is of these 3.
4,
so
5, 6.
It is number...
Come round.
The middle one, 6.
6?
Yeah,
I was no help
6,
whatsoever. There's even a toddler walking in that one,
yeah,
isn't there?
There is, yeah. So my first step sort of card or something like that. These 2 sets, they allow you to have people on the go or sitting down. That's why it's Can't Stand Still. It's like either they're sat down or they're walking. So but these, so I have a set that's coming out that's been sort of popular demand. People have been asking for a wheelchair set, which is a really lovely idea. I'm definitely I've designed it already, but it's trying to use the A5 space to get the best out of it. That's where. But it will be coming.
So it's coming.
Yeah, it will be coming. Now this set here, the sitting down elements, they are going to work with the wheelchair sets. So so that's it. So the people in wheelchairs, they'll still be customizable, and you know, they'll get the same benefit as everyone else. And you're not repeating
the same stamps because it works with, as you said, the whole family unit.
Exactly,
all
that's
works
it.
Together. That does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I want to show you this. So when I say that one set works with the other, now this here, let's pick the coffee hand here. There we go. Is that the right one? That's the right one.
Okay.
So this is, I added this in case you wanted someone to be walking, holding a coffee, or there's, you know, holding a drill, maybe a Father's Day card or something like that.
If I'm not walking with a coffee, I'm walking with a drill. Yeah, absolutely.
You know us men.
You know what we're like.
Yeah. But these hands, they also work with the other sets as well. So I don't know if I've done it, used the right side. Say if I went back to one of the illustrations I did. Well, I've got it on the wrong
coffee over
side
his shoulder
there,
like
yeah.
this. Okay, fine. I'll take a picture, but I am busy.
But there's also this coffee set that faces the other way in the set,
cool.
so I could have her holding a coffee as well. And then also, along that same vein, I'm going to use this head here to go on this set, because he's looking forward, because he's walking that way. But I could just as easily use, say, this one here.
Okay, yeah,
from one of the other sets. It's just a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. So every set works with every set, and that's what, you are future-proofed. So here is a walking illustration. Now, walking is one of those things.
Carrying flowers, for example.
Exactly, yeah. You could have someone carrying flowers. There's a hand that doesn't have anything in it so that you can draw in elements. And then, again, it's just a case of, what do I want them to be wearing? Maybe I'll have this person wearing a shirt and we could just go like this. Could be an open shirt, like I'm wearing now. Yeah. And maybe it's just very simple line work. And he can have his sleeves rolled up. Oh, well, I forgot that part of the sleeve there. We'll ignore that I did that, but that would come out, the hand would be on the other side. Anyway, so yeah, and then the line there for his trousers. And then I could create a whole scene around this. And I know that somewhere over there in the pack shot, I've got a framed version where I've done a little bit of masking and I made it so two people are on a walk together. Is it not there?
Maybe. Oh, is it down the bottom? It's down the bottom.
Down the bottom. Oh, yeah.
And you'll find it.
There we go. So
we can bring it, Andy. I'll bring it.
So
oh, they've both got their coffee, and it says, "Let's get coffee soon."
That's it. That's one of the elements in my Evergreen Sentiment set. So, yeah, we've got two people walking together there. They're both holding a coffee. And I love that sentiment as well because it's just making for the sake of making. It's not like happy birthday. It's an evergreen thing. Yeah. It's just like, let's get coffee soon. And I might send that to a friend who I've not seen in ages, or, a colleague that I don't work with anymore, or just something like that. But again, it's that set, and it has that's the background set that I've used. They could have been walking side by side on a beach if we'd used the seaside scenery set. They could have had houses in the background if we were using the little lodging set. The possibilities are genuinely endless with it. I once tried to calculate how many different variations you could have with one of the sets, but it was like something stupid. It was a number that I couldn't even say.
Lost count done, and that's it. Josh, we've got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Do you want to colour it in 4 minutes?
Yeah, let's colour in.
Let's see. Maybe you'll do it, maybe you won't.
Right, so when I colour, and I apologise, I've done everyone with a Caucasian skin tone here, but it's only because I've got that colour mixed.
Oh yeah,
already.
like you say, whatever your skin tone is, and like hair colour, whatever your favourite top is, you do whatever you want to do.
Any ethnicity, they're simple enough again that you could just change the skin tone, change certain things. There is like a kind of afro sort of hairdo in one of the sets as well. Right, I'm going to have.
By the way, Susie's put on Facebook, she's packing orders as we speak. So if you're ordering now or just after this show, she says odds are they're going out today.
Oh, amazing. Oh, that's
Susie.
That Susie is so on it with orders. We try to get, and if you ask any of our customers, within reason, we try to get everything out as soon as people have ordered. It's and then if we're not going to be able to, say we have a little family break coming up, we will let you know so that if you'd prefer to kind of wait and order a bit later, or if you're happy to wait. And a lot of the time as well, we have pre-orders. So if we're bringing out a new set, then we'll give people a bit of a warning, a bit of a discount if you want to pre-order and wait that time before it comes out. Let's have this person.
Not forgetting, whilst we've got literally a couple of minutes left, you're ordering direct with Josh, so joshgriffithstudios.com, or just have a visit there and see what it's all about. If you're on your desktop, by the way, click on the top bit that says shop. And obviously, they're all there for you. If you're on your mobile, it's on a drop-down menu as well, maybe at the bottom there. But there's links to Facebook on there after all. You can see the Bundle Up 10 welcome code that you will spy, or you've also got the Beyond Welcome 15 if you are brand new. But there you go. There's the watercolour paper pad, by the way, 300 GSM, $10.99. If you're not sure what to make that third item to bundle up, make it that. Make it that. They will not regret doing so. And not forgetting, Josh and Susie will get every single penny of your order to them to keep doing what they do.
more importantly, Maisie, because every time
Yep.
we're working, she's going, oh, why do you have to do work? And then we keep having to say to her, well, do you know why Mummy and Daddy have to work? It's so we can buy you. And she goes, toys.
I have that same conversation with Barney all the time. He's like, can I have a sweet at the supermarket? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, and he was like, wants the most expensive one. I'm like, no, that's expensive. Like, we earn money. He's like, you went to work today, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, I did. Yes.
Cough up then.
Yes, I did. Yeah, he calls me out, Andy. You went to work today, didn't you? Okay, mate.
There we go. So, there's loads I could do with this as well to make it even, more kind of give it a more professional look. I could do more shading, or I could leave it as it is. I could colour it with marker pens. I could colour it with pencil crayon. Watercolour is my forte, so I'll always do lessons on watercolour. I have a YouTube channel as well, so just search Josh Beyond Stamping on YouTube, or maybe Josh Griffiths Studio on YouTube. I'll double check that. So we're going to be trying to bring out a new kind of more long form video every week on YouTube, and that means that you can kind of slow it down, relax, and take it in that way.
We've literally got 30 seconds left, Josh. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Oh no, thank you.
Greatly
Thanks for having me.
appreciate that, and most of all, thank you for actually. Because it's not easy going from a job to doing your own thing. So,
it's
actually
scary,
taking a plunge and
isn't
doing
it?
that. Yeah. So much respect for doing that.
Oh, thank you. That's all down to Susie. Susie just said to me, just quit. Because I think, I went somewhere else after Sizzix and I didn't particularly enjoy it. And she was like, you're miserable, just quit. So I was
Well, there we go. We'll leave it on that note. Josh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys go shopping. Me and Wheeler after the break. I'll see you there.